So I thought we'd do something a little bit different today. Combine a gear review with a little bit of a short hike. We're in the Blue Hills Reservation, which, believe it or not, is only a couple of miles outside the city limits of Boston. We should get a look a little later. I'll give you a look, but it's a beautiful place. Lots and lots of people come here to train for longer hikes. It's a great recreational area. You'll see the trail is so similar to the AT in Massachusetts. It's unbelievable. Everything is just a little bit smaller scale, or maybe a lot smaller scale, but lots of rocks, lots of roots, lots of climbs. They just happen to be a little shorter, but really a great place to spend the day. There's some ponds here to swim and fish in. There's a wildlife museum. There's a small ski area with 3 or 4 trails. So it's a really great resource this close to the city. So as I said, you can see how close we are to Boston. It's a beautiful view today of the skyline. Over to Great Blue Hill, the highest spot in the area, which I think is 600 or 800 feet, something like that. Beautiful, beautiful spot. There's a weather station up there that's an historic landmark, and you can see all the way here now over to Boston Harbor, and off in the distance one of the lighthouses in the harbor and the various islands dotting the harbor. So let's get to what we came out here to do, which is a review of Dave AWOL Miller's Appalachian Trail Guide. One of my favorite pieces of gear, and it's something that as a group we've come to rely on quite a bit as we've done our section hikes in New England. So this is the guide, the AT guide by Dave AWOL Miller. Just a little bit about Dave. He hiked the trail, I believe, back in '03 and wrote a book, AWOL on the Appalachian Trail. Great book about his through hike. And then a short time after started producing these guides. Guide does come out every year. This is the 2014 northbound version. So every year there's a northbound, a southbound, and I think recently he's come out with a flip-flop version, which is people that go in one direction for part of their hike and then turn around and come back the other way. We use this exclusively. I know there's a number out there. The ATC does one that I'm not as familiar with, but this book has done everything we need when we've hiked the trail. The cost of the book, I know the 2015 book, we're using the 14. The 2015 book, the book only is $15.95. If you want the PDF version of it only, it's $8.95. And there is a package where you can get both the PDF and the book for $20.95. It comes bound like this one, and it also comes loose leaf, which allows you to pull pages out and put them back in as you need. The way we use the book, typically we just make copies of the pages that we're going to be hiking for that trip. Everybody in the group gets a 2-sided. It usually has the trail sections on one side and the town sections on the other side, and we just keep them in large Ziploc bags for the trip. And so let's get into the layout. At the front of the book there's a section that describes the various symbols used in the book. You'll find that there are symbols to indicate where you can find water, shelter, different road crossings, lodging, outfitters, places where you can resupply for food, things like that. There's even some indications here where you can find shuttles and transportation to and from. So this is an example of a page out of a section in New Hampshire. One thing that jumps out right away is you can see the elevation profile. So what Dave has done here is he gives you an indication is just how far you have to climb in each of these sections and what the descents look like. Along the left hand side of the page, the elevations go in intervals of 1,000 feet, and then as you go across the page, and you'll see here, each of these little sections our various landmarks, be it a stream, a road crossing, a shelter, a tent site, and one thing that we find very valuable here is where you can park. So for day hikers and section hikers in particular, this is a nice feature because it shows you where you can leave a car or where you can have somebody arrange to drop you off or pick you up, and it even provides coordinates for it. So it's a really good resource for day hikers and section hikers. Another valuable piece is for all of the landmarks, the book will indicate how far you are from Springer in Georgia and how far you have to go to Katahdin. And it will also indicate for any of the shelters how far it is to the next shelter. So it gives you the opportunity at that point to decide whether to, call it a day at that point or to continue on to the next. So this is an example of a map, a cutout of a town page, and what this does is it'll tell you for the town, it'll give you a little background just how large the town is, it'll give you the coordinates of the town, and then as I pan back a little bit you'll see it'll give you a map of the town, and it will indicate some of the highlights, places like food, lodging, churches, outfitters, things that you might need when you come into a town. And then over on the other side of the page, it will give you a description of some of those places. So if it's an outfitter, what are their hours, what kind of stuff they carry, various restaurants, if they're hiker friendly or not. If they're not, they tend not to be in the book. And in some of these hostels and inns and things too, it will also tell you if they're pet friendly or not. There's an indication of one with no pets. So in summary, the AT Guide by Dave AWOL Miller, highly recommended, very much worth the $15.95 you'll spend for it. Compact, easy to take with you. It's about 11.5 ounces if you take the entire book with you. So if you're not a Graham weenie or you're not a thru hiker, it's not a big deal to take the book with you. Otherwise you can do what we do, which is just make copies, take those copies with you in a Ziploc, and you can save the 11 ounces. The other thing you can do is opt for the loose leaf version where you can just pull out the pages you need and put them back when you return from your trip, or you can try the PDF, which I haven't done. I tend to be a little bit conservative about using my phone in the field just because of the battery, and also I just think if you pull your phone out on a rainy day, who knows what's going to happen. I also don't know what the display is like, how easy it is to read while you're hiking. So for me it's just easy enough to just take those pages and throw them in a Ziploc and not have to worry about it. So that's it. That's our review of the AT Guide. I hope it's been helpful, and I hope you go out and get it, and more importantly, get out on time. So that's our review of Dave Miller's The AT Guide. I hope you find it helpful. We certainly enjoy doing them, and the whole idea is just to help point folks in the right direction. As we've said over and over again, we're learning ourselves, and as we learn and we find something helpful, we definitely want to share it with our subscribers. So that's it for now. Run out and get the book, but more importantly, run out and get on the trail and just go backpacking.